So I'd like to welcome Simon Tribelhorn to this Group of Nations Solutions Through Inclusivity podcast. Simon, you are the president, managing director of the Bank of Liechtenstein Association. Tell us a little bit about the association and obviously its mission and what you do there.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much for the invitation. It's lovely to talk to you about the Liechtenstein Bankers Association. I joined the association, or I have been joining the association for quite some time. I joined it back in 2006, and then I was appointed as CEO of the Banking Association, so the managing director, beginning of 2010. The mandate we have, or the core mandate, is to represent the interests of the banks in Liechtenstein and operating out of Liechtenstein in the country, in Liechtenstein, but as well abroad. So you could say we act as a common voice of the banking industry and the banks operating in and out of Liechtenstein.
And why is it important then to have an association? Is it just obviously to help coordinate activities within obviously the banking industry there in Liechtenstein?
Well, absolutely. Acting as a common voice of the banks,
Sure.
we engage with the regulator, not only the regulator in Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein is a member of the EA, and all the banks and all the whole financial services industry actors, players have to implement European law. So we engage as well with, for example, European Commission. European law plays a very important role for us, and we want to play by the rules.
Sure.
So we joined in 26 as well the European Banking Federation as an active member, to let's say to bring in our input and to discuss as well regulatory issues at European level. That's
Great.
one core mandate we have, representing the interests at the level when it comes to regulation, but obviously then as well when it comes to implementation of regulation. So we act as well as a platform for dialogue for our members, help them support them implementing the laws. And then what I think is has become more and more important to play an active role in developing the financial services industry, the financial center of Liechtenstein, take an active stance on the let's say the future, how we see and how we want to be seen as financial services industry and as banking association.
Great. And how many members do you have?
We have 11 members, 11 banks licensed here in Liechtenstein. So you would say that's rather small, but still we are a small country as well. And
Sure.
Still the financial services industry contributes to GDP in the country, the whole financial services industry, around 20% to GDP. So a lot of people know Liechtenstein as a financial center, as a financial hub. But in fact, the industry is much stronger. We have an industrial sector which contributes around 46%. So these are the two main pillars of the country, and this means Liechtenstein is very much, I would say, diversified, and the economy is very diversified, with still a strong financial service industry, and banks are and contribute out of these players within the financial service industry, I would say the biggest role. And That's why we think we have a huge responsibility when it comes to the future development of the industry, but as well the country. But as well, we have a huge opportunity to actively shape the future of the country.
Sure, and expand. I take it, obviously, you probably do a lot of international banking as well. Do you have a presence there as well?
No, given that we are a member, the country is a member of the EEA, we are privileged and we benefit of the so-called EU passporting system. So our members can serve their clients cross-border all
Sure.
over Europe with access to 500 million potential clients.
Wow.
So cross-border banking is obviously one of the core businesses, and the core business of the banks is asset management, private banking. So
Right.
you could say core business is cross-border private banking and asset management, wealth management.
Beautiful. So I know that I obviously was on your site recently, and I know you are working closely with other consortiums and organizations across Europe. And you've published, I believe, an incentive for tokenized Europe by 2025. And I know obviously
Mhm.
crypto and tokenization is huge, but try and explain obviously to the listeners and viewers what is crypto and what is tokenization, and obviously how does that all fit in with the blockchain, because I know it can be quite complicated.
Well, that's true, and it's very important to make a distinction. For us, it's very important. We believe in blockchain technology.
Right.
And that's why the government, and I have to say was very a pioneering way they took. And I would say this was one of the major innovations of our time, of recent times. The government worked on a so-called blockchain law, technology neutral, that was started back in 2016-17, and introduced the blockchain law, a fully fledged blockchain law covering all kinds of digital assets, and the law entered into force 1st January 2020. So we believe that blockchain technology will completely change the way we serve our clients and we do our business, like sustainability. And I always say, for me, sustainability on the one hand and sustainable finance, and on the other hand, blockchain technology. These are really the transformative, or the key, which will transform the financial services industry and will be very disruptive.
Right.
And already are very disruptive. And that's why we took an active stance as well in engaging with the government. And Tokenize Europe 2025 is an initiative where we were part of, together with government representatives, but it was initiated by BDB, which is the German Private Banking Association. And I don't want to make any marketing, but a consultancy company based in Germany.
Sure.
And
That's
we
fine.
were part of that initiative, and certainly the reason why we were able to join forces was because the government took a pioneering and stance with the blockchain law. We call it TBGG, and we were able to give input to, let's say, how we believe the future will look like in 2025 with blockchain technology applied and rolled out, and the different use case we will face and we will see in a few years' time.
So And then no, we're talking about crypto as well. You're talking about currency and
Yeah.
tokenization. How does that all play into it?
Yeah, for me, cryptocurrency is just one use case or one application of blockchain technology. That's
Sure.
why I said I think we need to make a distinction, and that's why the government in Liechtenstein um, tried to cover with a TVTG technology neutral approach. So the law makes no distinction in this kind of comprehensive, covers all kind of digital assets like cryptocurrencies, like NFTs, like
Yep.
stablecoins,
Yep.
um, and other digital assets. Um, the idea of the TVTG is to give legal certainty, to have a clear, let's say, framework, legal framework, and to make clear that we don't meant to see any abuse, so to avoid any abuse from the very beginning. There was
Sure.
so these kind of two goals. That was the thinking behind that law.
So,
And
from your standpoint, in terms of obviously the financial, so you believe that cryptocurrency is going to be around for a long, long time, and it's going to be obviously more regulated because obviously there was that issue with obviously a crypto firm over here in the States, and so is there going to be more regulations? Do you think?
well, cryptocurrencies, what we see is that cryptocurrencies as a digital asset or as an asset category, that's one use case, but it's a new asset category. You have to offer, especially for younger clients. And as I said, this is a new asset category, um, which is important that you are able to offer that in a let's say in a having a clear framework to avoid any abuse or any misuse. But still, it's just one digital asset category. When
Yep.
we speak about kind of taxonomies or digital assets, there are others. And we believe in the technology and the importance of the technology. Um, I'm a strong believer that securities tokens are becoming more and more important. And let's say when it comes to digital assets, um, we will see what kind of use cases in the end we will see and what kind of use cases the clients are asking and requesting from the banks. But we believe that technology is very important. That technology will be disruptive, and it won't go away. Blockchain technology is here to stay.
And how does that benefit the European business community? Explain to us how using obviously crypto tokenized, and how does that benefit the business? Is it just another avenue for them to make payments or do business?
Payments, that's one application, one use case, sure. But still, when we talk about a securities token or stable coins, that's blockchain is able to bring more transparency into the financial services industry, into transactions in general,
Right.
um, more efficiency in dealing with the transactions. So, as I said, I do believe in the technology as such and the disruptive way of blockchain technology, and it offers huge advantages for the clients. Um, Lower costs, faster transactions, more transparency, and I
Yep.
think the advantage that lies it's very obvious for me that we have to let's say take blockchain technology very serious. And we as an association as well, we try to um, we have last year we issued our first own NFT
Right.
to make our own experience with blockchain technology. The reason why we have chosen NFTs, that's a different story. This is because of our roadmap, and we wanted to make our roadmap a bit more tangible. So it's a kind of a storytelling, and I do believe that NFTs serve or are very ideal to make it very tangible, to tell a story, to engage. And we often say this is a social token. It's not to make any money. It's more to engage people, to build up a community. It has an educational aspect, our NFTs, and we wanted to bring the two pillars, sustainability and digitalization, together and make it tangible with this NFT. So in essence, we tokenized our own strategy
Right.
and embedded a Klima token in that NFT. And with the Klima token, we offset it again on the blockchain, on chain, our own CO2 footprint. To showcase that using blockchain technology, we can reach our goal and become, because we committed to net zero as well, and
Correct.
become, let's say, net zero or climate neutral. And that's why we say our NFTs are so-called climate neutral NFTs.
Sure. So Simon, obviously, you talked about NFTs and how that relates to obviously what you're doing with climate. Maybe explain that a little bit about obviously NFTs and what you're doing with your carbon footprint and creating zero footprint with NFTs.
Sure. Well, we took a multi-stage approach. The first step we did is we calculated our CO2 footprint, and then based on the so-called science-based target standards, we said, okay, now the first step is, after calculating, we have to reduce our CO footprint, or at least avoid where we can. And the net, after doing so, the net CO2 footprint, we offset it,
Right.
the emissions, the metrics, or let's say the equivalent CO2 emissions. We did it on chain using KlimaDAO, and we produced kind of with KlimaDAO a dashboard, which is very transparent. You can see our dashboard, and where you can find out, okay, what are the CO2 emissions of the banking association out
Sure.
and coming from our own operations. And then we integrated this QR code of the dashboard into our NFT we created. We produced 500 NFTs, and then we made it freely available for everyone. So you can claim, or everyone can, who, let's say, is interested what we did, and maybe can identify with our core values, sustainability, digitalization, and so on, can claim such an NFT for free. And
Nice.
the idea is really to engage people, to build up a community, and to tell the story that it is possible with blockchain technology to offset and contribute to net zero, to become net zero, or let's say to fight climate change. This
Sure.
is more or less the story behind.
Sure. No, tremendous. Now, I know obviously we've worked together in the past and continuing, so thank you for working with me. Why is it important for the association to be seen sharing its message around G7, G20 summits and the audiences that obviously are focused around these particular summits? Why is that important to you and the association to share your message?
Personally, I do believe we have huge challenges we are facing as a society, as a community, and these challenges, it's not, let's say, reduced or siloed, and it is a global challenge we are facing.
Sure.
And we have to, in my view, cooperate to overcome these challenges. And everyone has to play his role. Everyone has its responsibility, notwithstanding of the smallness of the country. And sometimes I believe that Liechtenstein, although it is a very small country, can make a bigger contribution than maybe compared to its size or
Sure.
of the size of the country. So my main message is we have to play by the rules. That's clear for me. We have to take our responsibility. We have to take an active role, and we can play. And sometimes we even can contribute. Sometimes more than, let's say, the size of the country. And that's why we want to engage. We want to showcase that we are a good citizen, and we want to be a good citizen. And sometimes even maybe as a small country, you can use a small country to showcase or to test out, to test and sometimes I always say, or sometimes I say, we are so small, we're kind of a test center, or we can serve as a test center for innovative approaches, and that's what we want to do as an LBA as well, as a banking association. Since we're all affected by these global challenges, and it's crucial to engage and to play an active, or to take an active stance.
No, great. Well, no, thank you very much, Simon. I do appreciate, obviously, taking the time with me today and explaining, obviously, a little bit more about the association and what you guys are all about. Share with us your website, and I'll put it down on the link, so obviously people can come and visit the Liechtenstein Bankers Association. So please give us your website, and we'll post that in the podcast as well.
Happy to do so. A huge pleasure. Thank you so much for your time, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you. I mean, you already said it's a long-standing relationship we have known each other for quite some time, so it's a huge pleasure always to see you, to meet you, and to speak with you. www.bankenverband.li, that's the homepage. I will share it with you. So pleasure is on my side. It's a huge honor. Thanks so much.
No, Simon, appreciate you. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate your time. And
Likewise.
Hopefully we'll speak again shortly, and maybe we'll do podcast chapter 2. Great. Thanks, Simon.
We will, for sure. Thank you.
Great.
Take care.
Thank you.